start by priming my eyelids, and I'm using my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer to prep my eyes. And I'm just going to apply the concealer evenly on the eyelids. To set the eyelids, I'm using my base powder, and I'm using the Fenty powder today. I'm just going to set the eyelids. Now that the eyelids are all set, I'm going to apply some eyeshadow, and I'm using a cool toned brown eyeshadow palette today, and this one is the Naked Urban Decay Basics Palette. I've had this for many years, but it's got some really pretty basic colors that are great for this look and for a fall cool toned look. So I'm going to start off with the shade Naked 2. I'm going to get some on my brush and I'm going to apply it to my crease. It's a very light brown shade. You have to really work it up to be able to see it on the lids. So I'm going to keep applying until I'm happy with it. So I do have to say, when I apply shadow to my crease, I like to look down into a mirror that I'm holding just in my hand, and I'm looking down, and you're going to hold the brush back here so that when you apply pressure to your lid, it's very soft and it's not very harsh. You can see that as I'm applying this color, I am concentrating mostly on the outer 2/3 of the lid of the crease. I'm not really going on to the inside here. Okay, I've applied this about 3 times and I'm happy with the color payoff now, so I'm going to finish the other eye. So I've got the shade Naked 2 just in my crease here and here. It's a very cool toned brown shade, and you can't really see it right now, but we are going to build up with a little bit of a darker brown shade, and so I'm going to go in with the color Faint, which is a cool brown shade right here. I'm going to pick that up on the same blending brush, tap off the excess, and I'm going to apply it in the crease, just kind of on the lid and in the outer corner. And again, I'm just going to look down in my mirror. So I'm tapping this where I want it. And once I'm happy with the placement, I will blend it out. Just going back in the crease with the same brush. I'm not adding anything to it, and I'm just going to blend out the crease. And I don't know if you can tell, but there's like a spot of color here, and then it's a little bit lighter in here. You can see it, so I'm just gonna blend that out so it's more even. And I'm just gonna close this gap here. And I don't have any new eyeshadow on my brush, it's just whatever's there. I'm actually gonna go back in with the lighter brown shade and just blend the crease again. Using a flat shader brush, and this one is from an Urban Decay palette, I'm going to take the color Foxy, which is a skin tone, almost yellow matte shade, and I'm going to apply that to the eyelid. So I'm taking Foxy and I'm applying it a little bit to the inner corner, and then on the lid, dragging it towards the middle. So in this palette, there is a shimmer shade, and it is called Venus. It's this one here. You can't really tell from the palette, but it is a shimmer. So I'm going to take that on my ring finger, and I'm just going to get some on my ring finger, and I'm going to apply it to the center of my eyelid, bringing it into the inner corner. Now going back in with the blending brush, I don't have any new product on this. I'm just going to blend the crease and the shimmer shade together, just where the crease meets the lid, and just make sure that that's a smooth transition. I'm also just going to blend the edges of where the outer V of the eye is darker, and just make sure that the blend is smooth. I'm going to apply a small wing to the outer corner, and I'm using my Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. And again, I'm just going to look down into a mirror. Just a small wing like that. When you apply your wing, use really small strokes and work in small sections. There's no need to try to wing it out all in one go. So you can use whatever primer works for your skin. I'm using No Poreblem primer. This is a smooth and pore covering primer from Touch and Soul. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this and apply it to my face. I'm going to correct my under eyes. I'm going to correct my under eyes with the MAC Prep+Prime in an orange shade. The sticker has come off. I'm going to apply this to where I have darkness on my face, so just under my eyes and a little bit around the mouth and a little bit around the nose. I'm going to blend the corrector out with a concealer brush. For my foundation, I'm using my favorite drugstore foundation, and that is Milani Conceal and Perfect, and my shade is 02A. So I'm going to apply that to a flat foundation brush. And then I'm going to pop that on my face. And I'm just spreading it out right now before blending it in. Don't forget the forehead. And don't forget your neck. Now that I have it spread out on my face, I'm going to blend it in. The way that I like to blend this foundation in is, instead of moving it around on my face, I like to just push it into my skin. When you're applying foundation around your eyes, you want to be careful not to touch where you have eyeshadow or your liner. You want to gently bring it to your under eyes, and you want to be very careful, and it's okay if you don't completely cover your under eye area. That's what concealer is for. I'm now going to apply my concealer to my under eyes. I'm going to also apply this to the tip of my nose, bridge of my nose, and right in the center of my face, a little bit to the chin. And I'm going to blend this out with my concealer brush. When you're applying the concealer to your under eye area, be very careful not to mix this with your eyeshadow. And when you get to the end, be very gentle in blending this. Try to create as straight of a line as you can. And then I like to blend it right here at the temple, hairline area. but otherwise I like to keep it pretty straight. So once you've got your concealer all blended in, I like to go back in with my foundation brush and just kind of dab around the concealer and on top of it to make sure that the foundation and concealer are blended together nicely. To set the under eye, you can use a translucent powder, but I am going to use a foundation powder, and this one is by Fenty Beauty. So I'm just going to pick that up on a small brush like this and apply it right under the eye. And I like to just push the product underneath. I'm not dragging it, I'm just pushing it in to set the under eye. And you can see the difference. It looks really great. I'm also going to apply this powder anywhere else that I've applied concealer, so just in the center of my face. Now, to do my contouring and bronzing, I'm going to use two separate products. So for my contour, I'm using the Nars Laguna, and it's a nice cool tone bronzer. So I'm going to pick that up on a rounded brush like this, tap off the excess, and I'm going to stamp this in where I want my contour to be. So again, I'm not dragging this, I'm just pushing it into where I want it to be. I'm also going to take this on the side of my nose, and I'm going to use the same brush, but I'm going to use just the edge of it. So I'm going to pick up the product just on the edge, tap off the excess, and then apply it down my nose. Now for the second product for my contour, I'm using the Hoola Benefit bronzer, and I'm just going to use it on a big fluffy brush like this. I'm going to pick up some product, tap off the excess, and then apply it exactly where I applied the contour, but I'm not going to stamp it this time. I'm actually going to brush it back and forth onto my skin. For my blush, I'm using Nars Deep Throat, and I'm using this brush from Sephora. And I'm going to pick up the product, tap off the excess, and then smile and apply it to my cheeks. When I apply blush, I like to stamp it on rather than dragging it back and forth, and I like lots of blush. For highlighter, I'm going to use the MAC Always One Jump Ahead highlighter and just a small brush like this. I'm going to pick up some product, tap off the excess, and apply it to the high points of my face. With a small flat shader brush, I'm also going to pick up this highlight shade and I'm going to apply it underneath my brow bone. And to my inner corners. For my brows, I like to start off with a mascara first, and I'm using the Maybelline Brow Fast Sculpt in the shade Deep Brown. And I'm going to brush this through my brows. I'm going to use this Winky Lux Unibrow pencil, and it's a universal shade, and I'm going to brush my brows out first, gently. And then wherever I see sparse areas, that's where I'm going to use the pencil. Mostly I like to use the pencil on the outer portion of my brows. For mascara, I'm going to use my favorite Lash Paradise by L'Oreal, and before I do that, I'm going to curl my lashes. And before I apply the mascara, I'm going to apply the Lash Paradise base, which is the lash primer. And I'm just going to look down into my mirror and as I apply this. And I'm going to take my Lash Paradise Voluminous mascara in the shade Blackest Black, and I'm going to apply that to my lashes. And again, I'm going to look down. I'm also going to apply the mascara to the bottom lashes. And for lips today, I'm going to use the shade Brunch Me by the NYX brand. This is a great drugstore shade. And I'm just going to line my lips with this. For lipstick, I'm using the shade Fanfare by MAC, and this is one of my favorite lipsticks. This is also a universal shade that almost any skin tone can use. Now I'm going to spray my face with my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. And this is the completed look. Super easy, super quick. I didn't use a lot of different products. This is the perfect fall eyeshadow look. It's a cool toned brown eyeshadow look, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit the like button, leave me a comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos. But I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, we'll see you next time.